What is the most NSFW thing you have seen at an office gathering or party? Went out for drinks with co-workers after service. It was a lunch-focused restaurant, and by the end of the night, one of our cashiers decided to lactate on me from across the table. Our payroll manager got blackout drunk at a Christmas party a few years ago and started insulting people and telling them that they weren't worth how much they were getting paid, while quoting the actual salaries. She was fired the next day, but didn't even remember what she'd done. My husband's old company decided that they weren't going to invite spouses to the Christmas party. Okay. I dropped him off so he could drink freely. No big deal. After he called me to pick him up, I ended up waiting in my car for nearly half an hour, watching some of his male co-workers through the window getting lap dances from some female co-workers. Used to work for a big bank. We had a little potluck for Christmas. And long story short, about 2 hours later, someone ate in the bathroom and smeared it literally, and I mean literally, all over the bathroom stalls, the wall, the stall door handle, the toilet sensor, ducking everywhere. It looked like a XXL Hershey bar stepped on an IED. We never did quite catch the elusive poop handle bandit. Legend says he's still out there, ravaging the latrines of financial institutions to this day. Worked in a warehouse for a while. We had regular awards nights where we'd all get ducked up and hand out stupid awards like Driver of the Year for the person who had the worst forklift accident, or who crashed a work car. Other things of note. 1. Doing lines with the boss off his desk every party. 2. Married co-workers banging in the car park. 3. The mentally handicapped and very drunk cleaner getting wrapped in packing tape by 3 guys. 4. Having forklift races in the aisles of the warehouse. Forklifts being driven by guys who are plastered. 5. Using forklifts to lift each other to the roof of the warehouse. I don't miss my old job, but damn I miss the parties. First Christmas party at a tech startup. Go to the bathroom towards the end of the night. Realize mid-piss that the sounds coming from the stall next mine are the CTO and his wife going at it. Step out of the stall and the CEO and some sales guys are doing lines. CEO sees me and shouts, "Hey, it's Jared." My name isn't Jared. He called me Jared for about 6 months after that until I pulled him aside and corrected him one day. Fun times. Co-worker threw his desk chair out of a 4-story window after having a few too many. We had a Mardi Gras themed holiday party. One guy decided to bring his saxophone and be a jazz man. Normal enough, right? Well, he also thought that to be a jazz man, he needed to show up in blackface. Luckily, this is rural Wisconsin and no one at the company was black, so we all just got really drunk and told him he's an idiot. Saw a drunk dude getting a handy under the table from another drunk dude. Both of them were supposedly straight when not drunk. My assistant gave a blowjob to one of my bosses at a bus stop while her boyfriend smoked cigars with our co-workers. First year at the company. Married CEO all over an employee pretty much in front of the whole company. Awkward AF. Both really drunk. The fact that they didn't start making out in front of everyone was a Christmas miracle. My ex-girlfriend's parents own a restaurant and every year they throw a huge Christmas party. The party is always great and is open bar with a great band playing. One year when I was walking into the kitchen to restock the beer, I opened the door to see a dishwasher and a waitress serving 6 on the dishwasher counter. I quietly walked out and got a group of people together to walk in and embarrass them, and it was the highlight of the party. Some fat naked short dude exploded out of the leather couch. A co-worker once stood on a swively chair. Thanksgiving at my shop. We all drew hand turkeys on the whiteboard. I was the one who started giving him head in the middle of the party. It's okay though. We're still together to this day. Work party. One guy took a rit in the toilet followed by grabbing the vacuum cleaner and sucking it all up. Didn't witness this one but heard that this happened just a few months before I was hired. We had a wine tasting for the managers with just some cheese, minor horse d'oeuvres, etc. One particular manager got completely sloshed on wine and got super flirty with another manager from a different department who was significantly younger and good looking. At some point, this young lady put some scented lotion on her hands. Smelling this, the drunk manager came over to her and pulled his D out and asked her to put some lotion on there too. Right in the middle of the room and tasting. I heard he was gone instantly. He was recently found out to currently be a tour guide on a duck boat, and a bad one at that. We bought our boss Ixie Santa lingerie as a gag gift. She tried it on in front of us and proceeded to do a striptease dance, all the while screaming out how her husband was going to love this. She's 54. Edit. I worked at a call center. I am a female. Was 16 years old at the time. So the answer was stillies. No, I did not particularly enjoy it. Went to bar for after party. Dude was playing pool with girls. Was getting killed. Whipped his balls out and put out them on that table. At our Christmas party recently, I put a coworker on my shoulders and carried him along so he could attach some tinsel to the beams in the roof. That was pretty unsafe. Someone did offer a ladder halfway through, but we were already on a roll. Went as a date to lawyer girl's work party. Open bar. Phenomenal food. Everything was amazing except the smell periodically through the night. Turns out one of the younger interns found out he never got the job opening. So he hid himself and drank all night, acting as if nothing ever happened. A bunch of people from the office decided to get together and head to a foam party. One of the girls got white girl wasted and stripped down to nothing but her panties and danced on one of the tables. Made for an interesting night. My Christmas party is on Friday. Guess I should just stick to beer. I worked at Macca's and we had a work party. Some of the crew volunteered to run the night shift while the rest of us went 10-pin bowling and drank scrumpies. I was a manager, so I got to see the camera footage the next day. It was of me walking around the restaurant and kitchen with my pants down, shaping my balls to look like a brain and making people look at my taut scrot. There were also brown eyes and squash strats, which is where you press your D and balls up against the glass. That was me in the drive-through window. I woke up horrified and knew I was in trouble. There was a small fallout. I miraculously didn't get fired. No one formally complained. My punishment was to wash car windows as they went through drive-through on my day off and donate the tips to the Ronald McDonald House charity. I worked at Playboy. So, everything? There was a coworker who arrived in a giant baby diaper with nothing else on except sneakers. And someone smeared chocolate frosting on his diaper at some point. Not super wild. But this was a dry party. An exec looked at a picture of my wife and did a little nod and wink while we drank gin and tonics. The absolute madman. A group of girls pre-gamed the Christmas party pretty hard. They show up wearing prom dresses and 20 minutes later, the most mashed if the girls is out back with her prom dress hiked up above her waist, panties at her knees, bent over taking it from some dude. This set the tone for the rest of the night. Marriages were unintentionally put on hold so drunken co-workers could gain carnal knowledge of each other. Many walks of shame the following day. My supervisor and I somehow ended up on the couch in the basement of another co-worker's Christmas party, watching demon porn. Last year's work Christmas party. One woman, known for over-drinking, overdrank. She came to sit at the table I was at and proceeded to sit down, where there WSS no chair, straight on her ass. Later that night she was grinding on one of the boss's girlfriends and apparently tried to talk the boss and his girl into a three-way. She is still confused why she didn't get the promotion she was going for at the time. That would have granted her a company credit card and had her taking clients out to dinners. All 30 of us ended up on top of a mountain at sunrise, naked and drunk. We then went for breakfast and back to work. Edit. Christ, this blew up. I certainly didn't work in the most formal office ever, but this was still pretty weird. One guy whipped out some sort of melon bomb. Like this, except with an actual melon. Fruit cup trash, as opposed to a delicious watermelon. We all get silent and look at the top boss, who contemplates for a second. Then he's like, hell yeah, you better share. and everyone was joyous again. Edit. Also I got that picture from another Reddit post from like 3 years ago. Not trying to take credit for anyone else's work. When I used to work for a large corporate law firm, a guy and a girl who both worked in the accounts team got in an argument. One thing led to another and the girl threw her glass of red wine over his white shirt. Without missing a beat he just grabbed her by the throat and started choking her. This was just off the side of the dance floor, in front of 300 plus staff. Friend knew I had a thing for her, so she would deliberately tease me when we went out, drop things and then bend over completely while wearing a dress that came up mid-thigh. She was known for how gorgeous her legs and skin were, then would make random conversation with me, during which she would talk about how she loved it in the ass with her ex, starting hinting about us doing that. But of course she did it while I was in a relationship. She was effectively doing it because I didn't have a GF for the longest time and took note of how I didn't give her the admiration she was used to. Sometimes when we'd watch a show or something, she'd sprawl out on the couch and throw her bare legs over my lap, knowing full well that she had just had them waxed. I wanted to explode each and every time.